Hi, if this is the first time you've come to my channel, I'm Amanda Merb, and it's truly a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm going to talk about that moment, the moment when the person who didn't feel the same way about you, who stopped caring, who didn't want what you wanted, finally starts to miss you. In fact, the moment they miss you most isn't the moment you wish it would be. Unfortunately, you want that moment to happen right when you walk away, or right when you tell them you're no longer willing to keep being hurt, that your patience has run out. I always recommend not communicating any of that, but that's not what today's video is about. Today is about the actual moment when that person truly starts to miss you, a lot. Because I think understanding when that moment happens really matters. There are times when you pull away, you put in that huge effort, you hold yourself back, you don't reach out to them, you stay strong, you try to focus on yourself, you cry, you suffer through it, you push through, and still that moment doesn't come. Why? Because you don't know when the real moment actually is. I know this sounds like I'm building up some kind of mystery, but you're about to understand it fully. The moment that person misses you is not the day you tell them, "I'm leaving." It's not the moment you walk away, or when you go quiet, or when the first week passes. The real moment is when that person discovers, much to their surprise, that they've lost control over you, that they've lost their power over you. And that happens when you stop reacting the way that person was used to you reacting. Picture it like this. You distance yourself. Maybe you told them directly, maybe you didn't. Either way, time passes. But that person, even after realizing you're no longer around, especially if you showed them a lot of love before, still believes not only that you haven't gotten over it, that the feelings are still there, but also still trusts deeply in the emotional power they hold over you. They got used to their actions having a powerful impact on you, both the negative ones and the positive ones. They know that when they do something hurtful, you can't help but explode, complain, fall apart, whether that's in a woe is me kind of way or out of anger, but you react. And it works the same way for the good things. That person usually knows that saying something sweet to you means the world to you. Suggesting a plan or just being with you means everything to you. They know they carry real emotional weight in your life, and they experience that the way anyone experiences having a strong emotional impact on someone else, almost like being the boss with employees, knowing that, in the end, they're the one who decides what happens, when, how, where. That person has experienced something similar. They're the one deciding whether things move forward or not. They know they hold that weight, and they experience it as power. But then you finally get fed up and decide it's over. One day you say, enough is enough. Because you don't have to accept this. Because you're not worth less than anyone else. So you don't have to accept being treated unfairly. And you walk away. And that person might take their time. If you want to understand more about that mindset, how it works on the other person's side, I actually have other videos on the channel about that. But broadly speaking, they realize what's happening, they take their time, and one day they think, so-and-so seems really strong right now, seems really put together. Let's see if that's actually true. Because deep down, they don't fully believe it. They might think it's a bluff on your part to get more out of them. They might think you're a little more over it than before. But they still fully trust that if they truly wanted you, you'd be there. Right now, you're not there, only because they don't want you to be. Because the day they decide they want you, you'll show up, right? So they pull out one of the moves that used to work on you before. Obviously, adapt this to your own situation. Maybe it's someone who used to disappear and then randomly resurface, or someone who puts in minimal effort and is used to the fact that just commenting on your story is enough. Or even worse, some people know that just showing up in your stories, liking a few of your posts, is all it takes, because they know that seeing that Noticing their lingering presence is enough to make you cave and send the message, "Hey, how are you? It's been so long, what's new with you?" In other words, depending on the situation, that person knows exactly which small or big actions will make you reach out, or write to them, or stay around, or try to find out what's going on, or feel hurt. Maybe they do something to make you jealous, knowing it'll set you off. Whatever the case, adapt it to your own story. Well, that exact moment when that person pulls out their usual move, expecting the reaction they're used to getting from you, whether positive or negative, whether it's you taking the initiative or being there in the moment, and it doesn't work, that's when they genuinely feel like they've lost their power over you. Imagine someone holding a TV remote. Until now, all they had to do was press a button and the channel changed, turn the volume up or down, switch to another channel, pause it, mute it, turn it back on whenever they wanted. And suddenly, no batteries, friend, no power left. They've run out. When that person realizes their emotional power over you no longer works, especially in cases where they had gotten so used to it working, that's exactly when they start missing you. Not everyone gets to be in control, unfortunately. But the person who is supposed to miss you starts missing you right there. So what happens? This is exactly why I'm making this video, because we're often not fully aware of this. Obviously, you, the one who pulls away, the one who leaves, you've already been missing that person long before you even take that step. You don't start missing them the day you walk away. You started missing them the moment you first toyed with the idea that this had to end, that you had to stop being part of this dynamic. You were already missing them while you were still in it. And a huge part of the problem is this imbalance. You're already used to missing them while you're still together, missing them even more when you start considering leaving, and missing them with even more sorrow, more nostalgia, more intensity once you actually leave. So you experience it in a completely different way. From day one, missing them feels real and present to you. So you're there, missing them, missing them, missing them. And one day, that person does something. You're there, sad, trying to move forward, but part of you is hoping for a miracle, waiting for that person to come and rescue you from how you're feeling, waiting for them to do something that proves they've noticed, that they care, that they're losing you. Because for you, this is a reality you're living minute by minute. The idea that you're losing them plays in your mind in a way that's so much faster, so much more intense, and so much harder to slow down than however much weight the other person is giving it in their own mind. And then that person does something, and in that moment, you often think, okay, they've been missing me. They've been struggling with this. They get it now, finally. Let's see the results of all my effort. And sometimes something as small as, hey, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Looks like you've been MIA, is enough. Something that, from the outside, just looks like mild curiosity, not someone really putting in effort. But you give it whatever emotional weight you want to give it. Or rather, the emotional weight that's colored by your own experience, which is, you read between the lines. And between those lines you read, I'm miserable without you. The distance is agony. I've realized what you're worth. From now on, I'm going to be different, and that's why I reached out, because I've been holding myself back for so long, and I finally reached out. So you think, okay, I'm going to give this person the chance to prove themselves. And sometimes it's even true that, having missed you a bit, they're a little nicer, a little more open, putting in a little more effort. And you think, okay, I'm going to give them this chance, and I'm going to find out for myself how much they've missed me. And what happens in that exact moment? Right when you're standing at the doorway of that person truly missing you for real, you convince yourself you've already walked through that door, that you've already made the full journey, that your work is already done, and that now it's just a matter of seeing what this person really feels for you. No, you are not at that point on the path yet. You are right on the verge of reaching the moment when that person is finally going to experience losing their power over you and start missing you for real. I think understanding this is incredibly important so we don't sabotage ourselves, so we don't mess things up at such a crucial moment, one that could give us so much in return. So understanding that, unfortunately, people don't miss us exactly when we want them to. They don't miss us that fast. They're not missing us in the exact moment when we're crying, having an anxiety attack, desperately wishing the person who hurt us would come heal us. Usually, that's just not how it happens. So, it's not there. They miss you once they sober up from that sense of power, often while still believing they're worth so much more than you. Because ultimately, unbalanced relationships end up creating roles. Roles where one person ends up genuinely believing they're worth a lot, and the other person ends up, unfortunately, believing they're worth very little. And that's not actually true. It's like a parallel reality both people are living in. But because we seem to go along with the arrangement, by allowing it, we're expressing, not in words, but through our actions, a kind of agreement. And so these roles get assigned, and the longer they're sustained over time, the more real they become for both people. People on the outside might not see it that way at all, but those two people are living it as if it's completely real. So for that person who's intoxicated with power to actually understand that it's not real, to be able to readjust their view of you, of your worth, of what you truly deserve, of what they should be giving, first, they have to lose that extreme sense of power. And that only happens once they understand that the control they had over you, that I snap my fingers and you jump dynamic, breaks. It stops working because you no longer react the way you used to. And sometimes you don't react at all. No way for them to get those reactions out of you anymore, positive or negative. No, because now I control myself. Because sometimes we've told ourselves 1,000 times, I can't do this. I'm not capable of this. What I feel for this person is bigger than me. And we've repeated it so many times that we've come to believe it. And it's not true. As an individual, you don't depend on or live under anyone's control. Not really. So it doesn't matter that you've told yourself that 1,000 times. Start telling yourself the right thing instead. You do not depend on being controlled. No one, not even the person who treats you well, has that kind of power over you. You truly belong to yourself. So start reinforcing that to yourself. And it doesn't matter if you've tried this before and failed many times. Things get attempted and failed until they're finally achieved. Look, I can take an exam, fail it 20 times, and pass it on the 21st try. Some things just take me a long time to master. People fall down, and people get back up. The alternative isn't staying on the ground. So if you've tried before and in the end couldn't help yourself, missing people, feeling overwhelmed by it, well, this time you'll get there. But start seeing the reality and telling yourself the right things. Because if you truly want them to miss you, it's not enough to just walk away, suffer through a rough month, and then have this person do something small and have you jump right back. You have to show them that when they try that, they're left snapping their fingers all alone. That's when they really start missing you, when they start reflecting, when they start really thinking about what they would actually need to do and how they would need to behave in order to be part of your life. Well, I hope this video helps you, that you liked it. If so, and you're not subscribed to the channel yet, I definitely invite you to do that. Hit the bell so we can see each other again very soon. And until then, as always, sending you a huge hug.